We just finished walking a few weeks on the Camino de Santiago. I walked for 16 days.
I walked for 23.
So we want to share with you what we brought in our bags and compare and contrast our packing lists. So unpack with us for the Camino. I'm Lainey.
And I'm Sara.
And this is Days We Friend.
I feel so replaced.
We're going to start with our backpacks. I'm still using the 24-liter Usui bag, and I really like this one because of the waterproof nature of the bag and the fact that it fits my torso. I'm only 14 inches in the torso size. It's really hard to find a backpack that fits and is comfortable. Again, backpacks are so personal, and what you find, if you like it, stick with it or keep experimenting. Sara has a whole different idea.
This is my second summer doing the Camino, and I wanted to go with a smaller bag this time. I originally wanted to do a 9 to 10 liter bag, like Shawn, so that I could lumberino my way to Santiago. Unfortunately, the routes that we chose, they had an additional challenge because of the lack of services in between stages, and I decided that it would be smart to have a little bit more room to put in snacks and food, so I went with a 20-liter Daylight Plus bag from Osprey. So my main concern with day bags is that the waist belt that they come with is kind of just like a ribbon.
That's just like for bounce so that your bag doesn't move around as you're like walking quickly rather than support of carrying the weight off your shoulders to your hips.
Some of the modifications that I made to this bag were including aftermarket waist straps, a phone pouch from Osprey, and this elastic loop so that if I hung anything from here, it would slide into here and not dangle. The main reason why I chose this bag was because I already had it, and it just needed a minor upgrade in order for it to work for me on the Camino.
The only reason to get something new is if you don't have anything, or you know you want something sturdy that'll last you for many, many years. Shawn made his lumbar pack into a whole thing. The only thing I do add to my bag is I have a little hard of hearing sign because I find that it helps when people are passing me or like bikers are on the same trail. I don't get like screamed at as hard because people know I can't hear them behind me. Now let's talk about what we're wearing, which is in some ways very similar because we both love the sun hoodie. We have different brands of sun hoodies. Mine's from Ridge Merino.
Mine's from Smartwool.
There's lots of different brands you can look for sun hoodies. Some are made of synthetics, but we both really like the ones made of merino wool. Couple pros and cons of a merino wool sun hoodie. Pros, doesn't smell. It's a little more sustainable fiber. It dries very quickly. It's very comfortable and soft on your skin. It's naturally breathable. Cons, it's very fragile. The sun hoodies do show a lot of wear and tear from it was more than a handful of days on trail by the time they got ripped up, but it does happen. This is my second one. My one I wore all last summer, also kind of shredded. So it does happen.
Some of the days on our Camino ended up being rainy days. And what's nice about the merino is that it's a good insulator even when it gets wet.
And we were like soaked through and I was like, I'm good.
Everything was damp, but I felt fine.
And when we wear sun hoodies, we both like to pair it with a baseball style cap because your neck and ears are already protected with the hood. And then the hat, you can just protect your face.
Sun, where is it? It's not on my face.
I like hiking in shorts because I get really hot and sweaty.
I like to hike in pants. It's additional sun protection, which I love. And it also is great for walking in tall grass, which we did a lot of on this Camino.
Yeah. I prefer to hike in a merino wool bralette that's from Brandwin Merino.
And I prefer to hike in a sports bra that doesn't have an underwire.
I like to hike in full coverage underwear that are also merino wool, and these are from Brandwin Merino.
I like to hike in merino wool underwear too. However, I like the Icebreaker Siren Thong.
For socks, I actually like wearing a pair of silk sock liners, and then I wear darn tough merino wool like crew cut socks on top of that.
I like to go just in wool socks. I like the crew cut as well. Look at all my socks. Gross.
All of our shoes got thrashed this Camino, but ultimately we both love trail runner style shoes. Mine are a 0 drop version. These are the Ultra Lone Peaks.
I chose a pair of New Balances that I wear at work. I'm on my feet for 12 hours a day or longer. And I really like that they have a heavy cushion because I don't wear a 0 drop shoe.
Yeah, again, that's a preference. Like I like the Ultras. Just because I like them doesn't mean you will like them. So we've covered our trail clothes. And now we're going to talk about all the different clothing items that are in our bags during the day. So we'll start with our sandals, which are the same sandal. I love, love, love the Zero Shoes Z Trail. This is like my second pair, I think. I've been wearing them for 5 years, so I know that I love them, and I already know that I like the zero drop. I like the way they fit. They're pretty light for the functionality.
I also had the Zero Z Trail sandals. I really wanted to love these sandals because they are a lighter weight option to what I was using last Camino, which was a pair of Chacos. I love my Chacos, and so I wanted to also love these. They're perfect for what I needed them for, which was showering and then being briefly on my feet whenever we were off the trail. But because of the footbed material not agreeing with my feet, I ended up wearing socks with my sandals most evenings. Some evenings it was cold, so that was actually perfect. But some of the days it was really hot and I was still in socks and sandals. Were I to do a lumbarino, I would likely bring these again. But if I were to do the backpack again, I would bring my Chacos. For me, they're just more comfortable.
And that's kind of the point of this video in a way, is we want to give you options and ideas. Just because one packing list works for somebody doesn't mean you need all of those things or you need to duplicate that for you.
A little side note over here. I watched all of their packing videos and Lainey bragged about these sandals. So I was like, I'll give them a try.
They worked great for me. Maybe not for you.
They weren't for me. I trusted her.
For my socks, I carry an extra pair of each style sock. So I have an extra pair of my sock liners and an extra pair of my big, thicker hiking socks. Same brand, darn tough. These are from REI Co-op. I love them, but they also fall apart so fast. But I use them for blisters protection for me. I've just been doing that since I was like a teenager, always wearing double socks, something I learned in Girl Scouts. But again, that's a preference. Not everyone likes wearing like 2 pairs of socks.
For me, I don't need sock liners. I can just go with regular pair of merino wool socks. This Camino, I chose the crew cut length.
Same length I wear.
Last Camino, I had no shows, the ankles. And what I ended up experiencing was that on gravel trails, the gravel would get in between my sock and my foot. And so I spent time stopping to dig out the gravel out of my sock, essentially. These prevented a lot of gravel from going in between my foot and my sock. On this Camino, I packed 3 pairs of socks, 2 at a medium weight, and then 1 at a thicker weight.
And one of those you were wearing, so you only had 2 in your bag.
So I only had 2 in my bag and 1 pair I wore. I think for my next summer Camino, I would only bring 2 pairs of socks and I would just bring the medium weight. I didn't really need the thick weight.
So my second pair of underwear is another Brandwin merino full coverage underwear. And I carry the full coverage underwear partially because I sleep in these. And to me, this like shows less of my butt than my swimsuit does. So I don't care if I kind of have to like use the bathroom at the albergue. So instead of packing something to sleep in, I'm sleeping in the clean pair of underwear that then becomes what I wear the next day for hiking.
I am wearing the other pair of underwear because I only brought 2 pairs. I wanted to have a synthetic and a wool just to switch back and forth. I find that the thong is the most comfortable hiking option. I know that's not for everyone. I also like that it's smaller when packed. It's dries quickly because there's not much material. And at night in the albergues, I'm wearing my off-duty option to bed or my hiking clothes that are clean for the next day.
Yeah, you wear one and you wash one, and underwear typically will dry overnight. And if it doesn't dry overnight, you hang it on your bag, it'll dry during the day, and then it's ready for you once you've showered. So our second bra option for me is the same one as what I'm wearing, which is the Brandwin merino bralette. This is the bralette style because I'm like a B cup. I'm very comfortable with this amount of support that this bra gives, which is not a ton, but just enough.
This is also made by Brandwin. It is the busty version of the bralette. I love this bralette. I love it as my off-duty option. For on trail, I do want more support.
On a summer Camino, we both brought dresses. So usually I only bring 2 outfits. I bring something for hiking and something for when I get to town. And this time I actually brought a 3rd option, which I have done before, but it's rare for me to do that. I usually do this option when it's really hot out or I'm expecting to sweat a lot. Mine's a merino wool one from Ridge Merino. I've had this for years. It's just what I already have in my closet. I didn't buy something specific for this. And sometimes I slept in this.
I only brought 2 outfits. I brought my hiking outfit, which I'm wearing, which is pants and a hoodie, And then this was my off-duty option, which is a dress. For summer, I think it's great to have a dress as a second option. It's hot out. You get a breeze going. I also slept in this at the albergues. It's a synthetic material that dried very quickly. It's made by Toad & Co. It was already in my closet, so it was a super easy choice for me to bring on the trail.
So I have a third outfit, which is a shirt and pants. And I actually upgraded my pants to something that's extra lightweight. I finally found something online to replace my beloved Patagonia pants, which I still love, but these are 100 grams lighter. These are the Mountain Hardwear Dynama 2 ankle pants or something, but ankle pants are regular pants on me because I'm only 5'1". So hooray, they fit me. I chose to bring a pair of pants because I like to have, I get cold really easily, so I like to have an option.
Originally, I had only brought 2 outfits, one for the trail and one for being in town and at the albergue. I now have 2 pairs of pants. These are my original pants that I hiked in. The Patagonia Happy Hike Studio Pants version 1 with the cuffed hem at the bottom. I love these pants. I love that they're quick drying. I love that they have a very thick elastic waist. When you're on the trail and you're doing those uphills and you're trying to get a bigger stride, they stretch with you. They're really great pants. I love these pants.
I have these too. They're awesome, but they do have a big flaw, which is
over time, the elastic gives out.
They just stretch out.
I've had these for years and they had their swan song on this Camino. The elastic just really gave out in the like butt crotch area. And it ended up just kind of like sagging a little bit too much. And it made it just slightly uncomfortable to hike in. Halfway through, we ended up being in Lyon. I went to the decathlon and stumbled upon a pair of pants that I just couldn't resist. And I would actually bring those on my next Camino. I loved them so much. These ended up being a secondary option that I didn't intend to have, but worked really well on cold, rainy days.
Of those options, I had a merino wool t-shirt because that's what I wore with my pants, or I would wear the shirt and the underwear as my night sleeping clothes. We both have sweater layers, like that mid-weight layer, and I brought the same fleece that I've been using for the last few Caminos because it's the lightest weight sweater I have, and it's a really good option for an insulating layer.
I brought a super lightweight icebreaker, zip-up merino wool jacket. It's kind of like a cardigan, really, that has a zipper in it. It has small pockets. I packed this knowing that it would live in my bag once we got to Leon, mostly, and I would need a second layer when we were in the mountains. When we got to San Vicente de la Barquera, it was much cooler than I was expecting it to be. And we looked at the weather heading into the mountains, and it was just going to be cold and rainy. I bought a cheap layer at a local store. It was a sweater, and I used it for our mountain Camino. And then once we got to Leon, I donated it.
And that's why it's not on camera today. So our last layer, though, is a rain shell, because when you couple the rain shell with your like mid-weight or your fleece or your wool sweater, it stops the wind, stops the rain. It's a great way to stay warm when you need it in the mountains, but also just you always need something for rain. The rain in Spain does not stay mainly on the plane. It is all over the place. So we both have Patagonia rain jackets. Mine's the torrent shell one. So Sara also has a Patagonia rain jacket, and hers is way nicer than mine. And like, I felt the material and I was like, what is this? It's so soft. It's less crinkly. It's so nice. How did you have this fancy Patagonia jacket? That's an upgrade from mine.
So I ended up doing a warranty upgrade on a jacket that was on sale. So I brought in my torrent shell where the lining had decayed, and I was able to upgrade to a really nice rain jacket that kept me bone dry on the trail.
Yeah, and just a nicer fabric to wear around when you're in town and it's not like raining, but it's just colder and windy.
Mm-hmm.
If I upgrade, it's going to be this jacket one day.
One day.
So I brought 2 buffs, or as we've recently learned, it's called the boof. Boof. Why?
Boof was invented by a man from Barcelona. So the word bufanda means scarf in Spanish, and boof is short for bufanda.
It's going to be hard to change, but anyways, my buffs here. I brought 2 because of the mountain route. I have my like lightweight summer weight buff that I always carry, And I use this for like soaking in the water and putting on my neck or just like a literal sweat rag. But because we had a lot of cold days in the mountains, I also chose to bring my merino wool midweight buff because I knew that I would want a little bit more insulation. And I wore this so much.
So I went to Decathlon, bought this. It's a 4Class Decathlon brand. It's merino wool. It's lightweight. And I was really, really happy with its performance. I also brought a swimsuit.
So moving on to accessories and other things in our bags. So for our bedding, we both have silk sleeping bag liners, and that's it. We have the same towel from Sea to Summit, the Airlight towel. And I also actually have a second small washcloth that I often use. It's like it's the same material. I wash my face, use the small one, and then it dries on my bag. Again, this is a luxury thing to bring the second one. You just need one. But this towel I learned about from Sara.
I love this towel. It just, look how small it is. It's like very lightweight material. It dries so fast.
Not all microfiber quick dry towels are made equal. They're not. You want something small so it doesn't take up all this space in your bag and it dries quickly so it doesn't get funky. So really like go to the description and click on the Airlight towel. We both have some sleep accessories in little cases. I just use this packing cube I've had forever.
This is a Muji zipper pouch with a dual compartment.
In these pouches, we have eye masks, essential, earplugs. Honestly though, I don't really use my earplugs because I'm very hard of hearing. So I have a dehumidifier case for my hearing aids. And then I have some hearing aid accessories with the same kit to keep it all together. In my like sleep kit, we all have different things we need. So like I like to bring a chapstick that's like just for nighttime. And then I also bring a little lavender essential oil to counteract smelly things and just put me into a nice night of sleep.
Smelly pilgrims.
Because we're both mouth guard users. And so we both have our night guards with us. I forgot to bring mine downstairs. It's in our bathroom, but night guards. So speaking of toiletries, we both use like pretty small kits because that's the key is like the smaller, the better, the less things you need, the less stuff you carry, the less weight in your bag. So mine's a Muji pouch that I got in person many years ago.
Mine's a travel-on zipper pouch that I had at home.
So in the case, we both added carabiners to our bag because that's actually the key is you need something to hang this bag up. You definitely need something hangable. Toothbrush, I like tooth tablets.
I like the travel-sized toothpaste containers.
Comb, hairbrush.
Hairbrush, comb.
I use a natural deodorant, so I just decant it into this small tin, so I just carry a little bit with me.
I also use a natural deodorant, and I took a travel-sized deodorant stick and loaded it with my deodorant.
I have my soap that I bring for everything, which is a Dr. Bronner soap bar, and I use this to wash my face, but I also use it to wash my body, my hair, my clothes, life. But I have it in this Matador soap case, which seems like superfluous. You could just put your soap in a Ziploc bag, but I like the case because it dries through the case and it makes your soap last longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a moisturizer that's just a solid bar one, which I've cut a chunk off of and put inside this little container that I've had forever. Not a full bar, chunks of bars.
Chunks of bars. I cut Dr. Bronner's bar in half and put it in my Matador case. I love this Matador case.
It's great. And you can hang it too because it has like a clip. So you can hang it on your bag while your soap is drying.
I use a St. Ives travel-sized face scrub. I decanted my SPF moisturizer into a lip gloss tube.
Oh, lip gloss. Hey, good job.
Decant.
Floss picks, bring two.
Bring two.
Because I dropped one in the sink of death at the grossest albergue and that thing went straight into the trash. I'm not using that again or washing it. It was so gross. Extra hair tie. Wear one, carry one in case you lose one.
I don't use shampoo when I wash my hair. I just use conditioner and I buy it in Spain. I am beautiful.
Couple random things that we have different in our toiletry kits is I have nail clippers. I have a bag of Q-tips, so like cotton swabs, because since I wear hearing aids, I have to dry my ears out. I bring arnica gel and I keep this in my toiletry kit because I use it on my knees and my feet where I have had tendonitis problems in the past, and it helps me not have any issues because I didn't need any of the knee braces this time. The very smallest thing of muscle rub I've ever had is like a Tiger Balm We are both strong advocates of a Kula cloth, which is an alternative to using toilet paper on the trail because it is gross to pack out your toilet paper, but it's even grosser if you leave it behind. So don't be those people. Instead, we love the leave no trace ethic behind the Kula cloth idea and the P-rag because we, as former Girl Scouts and lifelong Girl Scouts,
Once a scout, always a scout.
you always want to leave something better.
Then you found it.
You use it on the trail and then you hang it on your bag. And the nice thing about these is they actually hang closed so that you're not like whacking pee all around. And then you just take it into the albergue in the evening and you wash it. You just wash it and it's dry. Whacking pee all around.
For she is
Pellegrina.
Pellegrina.
The point of this is the surface is absorbent and antimicrobial.
And I will never go on a Camino without it.
Sun protection is important in case you didn't know that yet. Sun protection, sun protection. We all have multiple ways of using sunscreen and protecting our skin. The thing that's most in common, all good sunscreen brand. We like the tinted zinc sunscreen that they have in the tin, and it's just perfect for your face.
Yeah, I like that it's tinted. That's really nice on the face. I'm wearing some right now. I found out about All Good through Shawn and Lainey, and I'm so glad I did. It is super convenient, the packaging, and it's thin. So I kept it in my waist strap because it was got a low profile, and
Me
it's
too.
really nice.
I also bring the regular tin without the tinting, so it's just the really white one, and I use the white one on my neck and my hands.
I have their stick version
It's the
that
same thing as this, I think, just
Yep.
in a different packaging.
I would apply it on my hands.
Because I'm wearing shorts, I actually have this like little bottle of sunscreen that I've just been refilling and refilling and refilling. So when you run out, Shawn and I actually like buy a big bottle and then refill it. So I'm only like carrying a small weight of sunscreen.
Decant.
And lastly, sunscreen lip balm. So to stay clean on trail, I've got some hand sanitizer, which I hang off my bag. But we both also bring soap flakes. Hand soap flakes, because not everywhere in Spain is very good about having soap in the bathrooms, and you usually need this, so it's like on your body, your pocket, or in your like waist bag or something. First aid, which I'm clearly overdoing compared to Sara.
I'm invincible.
Okay, so my bulky thing though here is because I brought my knee braces, like 2 of them in case I had knee problems, which I did not this time. Some athletic tape, like KT style tape in a roll. And inside the little roll of tape, I have a little pair of scissors so I can cut them. Scissors are a little heavy, but you know, I actually use these for like other random things on trail. Your first aid kit's really personal, but if you're going to skimp on something, this is not necessarily the place to skimp, but no, like there are lots of pharmacies and things. You can always buy stuff you really need.
If you know that you use something in your daily life, whether it's for fitness or sports, bring it on the Camino. Don't forego it just because you're trying to save weight in your bag. You will likely need it on the Camino if you use it in everyday life.
So a couple other bulky things I have is I have a face mask. I'll actually always bring something like this now.
I also brought face masks just in case.
I have a big thing of lamb's wool, which usually I use a lot of. This time, I didn't need very much of it. It squishes down to this tiny little thing and it doesn't weigh anything. So like I'd rather bring a bulky thing of lamb's wool and use the crap out of this because you can't find this in Spain. I brought a bunch of bug spray because in the past I have needed a lot of mosquito repellent in northern Spain in like the green area of the mountains. And I think I used it once. So it was not a good use of weight and it was kind of expensive. So I kept carrying it to use it at home this summer.
I also had bug spray. I put Badger Balm inside a contact lens case and I had it with hydrocortisone cream, which I use for my hands.
Decant.
Decant because you decan.
Advil or ibuprofen, Band-Aids.
I brought 2 alcohol swabs just in case.
I brought a little antibiotic ointment for cuts, which we actually did use when Shawn got scratched by a dog. Needle and thread for random things like repairs.
I use flat dental floss as my repair thread. It's not good for clothing, so I ended up using Lainey's thread one time for my clothes, but it is good for bag repairs. I had to repair my toiletry kit. I used it for that. I also put medical tape on a Q-tip, and then I cut the Q-tip ends off, so it looks like a tiny rolling pin. I bring a backup set of earplugs just in case. When I land in Spain, there are a couple things that I purchase. One of them is a lighter for sanitizing needles for treating blisters.
I bring a random assortment of things like safety pins and a rubber band.
This is one of my favorite things that I bring on every trip, including Caminos. This is my mini Swiss Army knife, and it's small enough to get through TSA. It's never been flagged by European security. The blade is very short, but it includes a nail file, a small knife, scissors, a toothpick, and tweezers. I love this thing.
I bring allergy medicine. I also bring a lot of different medicines for my stomach because I have a very sensitive stomach. Tums and a Pepto-Bismol and a little Imodium. So we're gonna go through just all the other random accessories, the other things that kind of end up making your bag heavy or not, depending how much you bring. We mentioned a little bit about I like to wash my clothes with the Dr. Bronner's soap. But I also bring a little bit of laundry detergent that are like in the sheets. So like the flat sheet. I think I brought like 3 of them for this because sometimes you'll stay at a place that has a laundry machine but doesn't have laundry soap.
I always bring 6 feet of paracord. I use it as a makeshift clothesline. There was a couple of albergues where I propped the door open to get airflow. I tied the doorknob to my bed.
Sometimes you're staying in like a private room or a hotel and they don't have laundry facilities, and all 3 of us used this paracord.
I will pack this on every Camino because it's light enough that I don't worry about the weight, and it's so versatile. Clothespins are not always guaranteed at the albergues on the Camino, so I like to bring a set of safety pins.
A carabiner. I just bring 1.
I bring 2 S-beaners and a hero clip. I recommend bringing a hero clip on the Camino because it works for keeping your bag off of wet or dirty ground. And I also used it if the carabiner on my toiletry bag wasn't big enough to hang over the door. I would use the hero clip to hang my toiletries on the back of the shower door.
That's awesome. I have a little tote bag so that I can get groceries or just bring my clothes into the bathroom with me for the shower.
I have a Ultralight Nano Day Pack from Sea to Summit. I wear gloves for sun protection when I'm hiking the Camino. I have walking sticks so my hands are exposed to the sun. My skin does not like the sun and the heat combo, and so it's best for me to cover them up and keep them nice and safe.
And speaking of walking sticks, we both use hiking poles. An extra set of hiking pole tips because sometimes you just lose them, and this time by a miracle we didn't lose them. These are like the best ones ever that you can buy at Decathlon. The red ones last forever.
What are these made of? They're indestructible.
Magic.
Wine bottle openers do get taken away by TSA or the European equivalent. So when I land in Spain, I buy a wine bottle opener, but I do not take it home with me.
We both like bringing a spoon, fork, knife thing combo. It's just awesome for picnics and everything you need to do. I also bring an insulated bag. This one's just from Flying Tiger, and I don't think they make it anymore. But it's a really great way to keep all my food cold during the hot days. I actually froze a water bottle, put the frozen water bottle in here, and everything stayed ice cold. And I wasn't afraid of eating like the meat and cheese that I brought. Headphones, I like the plug-in ones because that's me. I'm really old school and they're really old ones I've had forever.
I do bring an analog set, but I also really enjoy having my Bluetooth set.
An Anker 30-watt charger, fast charger. So my phone is like, zoop, it's done with the European plug and just the cable that came with my phone.
I have the same Anker. It's the US plug, so I put the European adapter on it. I brought a backup iPhone cable just in case, and I brought a power bank. This one is an Anker power bank. I love it, especially at home. It was a little bit heavy and more than what I needed.
I brought a game, Hanabi, which we played a lot, but also it was weight I didn't need because we were hiking such long days. We didn't need to bring a board game in this case. I also have a sit pad, which was the best thing I ever brought. I would bring this on every Camino in the future, except the Francaise when I'm not doing very many picnics. I would just be like, oh, we're sitting on the ground here. I'm covered and I'm comfy and I'm not dirty and it weighs nothing.
Sunglasses.
We both like the news sunglasses because they're so small. There's pros and cons of these glasses. I don't think the lenses are like amazing for the price point, but the packability and the ease of use is just the best because if I can't get to my sunglasses quickly, I'm not going to use them. We both love using water bladders.
My backpack doesn't come with a cover, The stuff that I keep inside it is in a dry bag. So if it were to rain, I would probably be fine, but the bag would get heavy from being waterlogged. So I brought a large shower cap. It's called a Capit, and I used that when it was heavy downpour.
On the Camino, you're rocking that pilgrim style, which is, your socks and sandals and your lumbar, bum bag, fanny pack, waist bag, whatever you want to call it. I have the REI Co-op one. I want to say this is 2 liters.
I like my Patagonia waist pack. I like the compactness of it. If I needed to put one more thing in it, though, I would need to upgrade to a larger size. It's pretty packed when I have it packed.
When we hike, I like to put this in my bag or like on the side pocket. I don't actually like to hike with it on my body anymore because it's just like extra things restricting my motion. But I use this as soon as we're in town because the most important thing is your valuables are always in this bag. You sleep with it, you shower with it, you never ever leave this unattended. This is your life. And you only have to worry about this versus your entire bag. So what's inside? Chum's wallet. We like the same one because it has 2 different pockets. So you can keep your money in one and your cards in the other. And remember, in Europe, you use a lot of coins. I also just have a random case of some extra hearing aid stuff I need in here. There's like earplugs. I switched to these loop earplugs, which I actually think are awesome. Sometimes you just run into a festival and you need some earplugs that are like great for also have music.
I carry the tissue and soap flakes for using bathrooms at bars.
Yeah, I carry my soap flakes in there too.
I have a mini pen.
I have a non-mini pen and a little journal in a plastic bag that's seen many better days because this is not waterproof anymore in the slightest. There's so many holes because I like to journal. It's a little travel journal.
This is either in my backpack or in my fanny pack. It's a Sharpie that has duct tape wrapped around it.
You want the secret to slightly better videos? It's to always clean your lens. So this lens cloth cleaner was either in my pocket of my shorts or in my waist bag. A bag with your pilgrim credential.
Before I left my home in the States, I made a last-minute decision to bring a hair clip, which I clipped to the outside of my waist pack. I used this every single day, and I'm really glad I brought it.
Claw clip for the win.
Yeah.
So without water and food, my bag weighs 5.3 kilograms, or it's 11.6 pounds.
Without food or water, my bag weighs 4.25 kilograms, which is 9.4 pounds.
I think the big goal of this video is to show you that there's not really a wrong way to pack if you're thoughtful in your choices and you keep your bag size to a reasonable amount. We both have done many Caminos and we're both gear nerds, so we really pride ourselves on like the smallest bags we can. Admittedly, my bag kind of expands a bit, so I can fit like 2 bags of potato chips in there, and I have
Leave room for snacks.
lots of snacks. Get that cucumber.
Get the cucumber.
Cucumber.
Get the gummy bears.
Get the gummy bears. Have some peach power.
Peach power.
Thank you so much for spending your day with us. I'm Lainey.
And I'm Sara.
And this is Days We Friend. Don't forget to subscribe if you want some more videos about random things. And if you're watching this video right after it came out, we've got all of our vlogs about the Caminos we're talking about coming up. If you're watching this a long time after it's been posted, check out the videos described below.
Thank you for viewing this extra special episode of Days We Friend.
Guest starring Sara. Shawn will be back later, but until then.